might be insignificant, but they are more than meets the eye, because some of them can completely change how your build plays. Hi guys, welcome back to the video. I love making BG3 build guides, and today I'm going to show you a shortcut to min-max a build, how to maximize an interesting build you find on the internet via Subraces. No, not this one. Just a little bit lower. There you go. While some have insanely cool dazzling exterior, but perform so underwhelming in reality. While others might not look as flashy, but hide enormous power just from being that ways alone, regardless of whatever build you wanna put on top. Now let's just get right into it. Let's start from the center, the Giths. Bro, you already know who they are. In a D&D game where dark vision doesn't mean much, among the dark visionless races you may call it, I think they are definitely the kings and queens. And that makes Lae'zel is the queen amongst the companion. Not damage wise at least. Kalak is still my queen. At level 5 we get Misty Step reset on a long rest. For free, a bonus mobility, basically what any kind of builds, any class needed. This is definitely a no-brainer like, except the barbarians. Astral Knowledge can bump any ability check that we are not proficient in, perfect for those who like to make skill monkey builds. Or if you're running your Lae'zel as the party face, making lots and lots of ability checks, this ability will definitely what you want in your pocket. Those two I mentioned already known to be great and all, but two things in particular caught my eye. Greatsword and medium armor proficiency. Greatsword itself technically has the highest damage ceiling among most weapon choices, rolling 2d6 per hit. For those who aren't aware, rolling more dice gives you a better chance of hitting higher numbers. In this case, 2d6 stronger than 1d8 weapon, obviously, even slightly better than 1d12 on average. Simply put, rolling dice twice is better than rolling once. Same principle as advantage, more rolls, better odds. It sounds insignificant, but over the long term, you will absolutely see the difference. On top of that, what makes Greatsword even more special for Giths in BG3 is because of this. I bet no one can ever miss this sword in Act 1. Maybe if you build your Lae'zel to be a monk, according to obvious bodyguards, and when you make her to reject Flakith, or a rogue Lae'zel, wizard Lae'zel, sorcerer, bard, warlock, all the classes that don't have Greatsword proficiency. As for medium armor proficiency, this one is obvious. If you play a Githyanki spellcaster, wearing medium armor might be a game changer. Now the problem with spellcasting classes is, the moment you start concentrating on a spell, these words pop on your head, the AI immediately locks on you, they dogpile you, they try to pick you off while you're just standing with low AC. Whether it's a crucial debuff or just a simple haste, anything that could decide the outcome of a combat, in Act 1 or 2, you might get away with it, but in Act 3, that's where it becomes a nightmare. Sure, you have shield spell every turn, but would you burn all your first level spell slots in one single fight? And trust me, it will not save you. You even can cast it while wearing medium armor, then you are sitting on much higher AC. So being a Gith with medium armor proficiency on these classes just instantly patches that weakness. And on top of that, there are several medium armors that give advantage on concentration saving throw, which is exactly what every spellcaster craves. And it doesn't stop on casters. Squishy frontliners like monks and rogues definitely benefit a lot too. For rogues, well, they are locked in light armor, so it's kinda obvious, but if your monk build isn't hyper optimized or rely on unarmored defense to gain more movement speed, or you just prefer your monk to wear an armor, a Githyanki armor monk can straight up make you sturdier with zero effort. But speaking of medium armor proficiency, shield dwarfs also get it. you gain medium armor proficiency, plus dwarven resilience, poison damage resistance, and advantage against the poison condition, one of the most common damage types in the game, always nice to have. I think in the D&D community, Shield Dwarf is known for being a really solid pick for spellcasters. So many defensive traits just to patch that squishy weakness. I actually picked up this idea from one of the D&D Shorts video. And just like the Giths, Shield Dwarf also get extra weapon proficiencies. Maybe if you wanna build a Gish, or a frontliner caster, or just a simply caster, Shield Dwarf definitely a race you should consider. But I gotta be honest, this kind of a lesser version of a free medium armor race compared to the Githyanki, since they have missed this step for free, which is kind of cheating. Next up, we're still in the dwarf race, the Gold Dwarf, my personal favorite for tank race. I love my tank like I love my tea, and I love how stupidly high we can stack HP with Dwarven toughness plus barbarian levels. Now our HP is doubled. Even more, we can triple our HP with the tough feat, and you're a living Terminator. I've used this trick for my Gimli build from the Lord of the Ring. Classes that are compatible with this race, as I mentioned, Barbarian is obvious, massive raw health, thicker than your mom's, and a big HP pool combined with physical damage resistance. You are a walking fortress. But also, Draconic Sorcerer? Same idea, stacking double HP, you'll be the chunkiest spellcasters. Plus, Draconic Sorcerer already gives you one of the highest base ACs among the casters. That sparked me a build coming up with this idea, a Sorcerer tank build. On top of that, Dwarven Resilience, always relevant. Now pair that with Dark Fire Shortbow for fire and cold damage resistance, and the tank build starts to feel complete. Fire, cold, and poison damage resistance. Gold Dwarf might look so humble and simple, but this is actually the best tank race there is. In the first part of the video, I already break down one of the Tieflings. So next up, its cousin Asmodeus Tiefling level 5 works the same concept, which basically one extra Hellish Rebuke per long rest. For those who don't know, Elemental Affinity bonus damage affects Hellish Rebuke since it counts as a evocation spell, so if you wanna build around throwing Fire Draconic Sorcerer, you should consider being Asmodeus Tiefling. If you do take a level dip in Warlock for your Draconic Sorcerer build, another small synergy, since Hellish Rebuke is also a level 1 Warlock spell. Dipping Warlock 2 grants you Devil's Sight, then fully abuse the Darkness spell from Tiefling level 3 feature. Now you can stand inside magical darkness, enemy cannot see you, but you can still blast them freely from the inside. Also, Hellish Rebuke is the only spell you can cast while raging. Combine it with Hellish Resistance, Fire Resistance, this might make a good tank race, like how I made the Wild Magic Barbarian build. And lastly, Mephistopheles Tiefling get Flame Blade, which is great if you're trying to build a spell sword around that spell. If your build demands you to cast Flame Blade every fight, that's going to burn through your spell slots pretty quickly. So getting one extra Flame Blade per long rest already helps a lot, especially if you keep facing some small fights. Do you know this? The Tiefling hireling is actually a druid. I think Larian hinted us a melee Flame Blade build with this race. Next up, Lightfoot Halflings are actually my personal favorite for stealth builds. Naturally stealthy gives advantage on stealth checks, so you don't have to rely on specific item just to get advantage on stealth checks. Like the Graceful Cloth, you're free to wear whatever armor your build actually needs, like the Balist armor, or even you can push your stealth checks further with Spider Silk armor for +1 or Penumbral armor for +3 while obscured. Very similar to its cousin, the Deep Gnome, Halflings feel a lot more offensive or even slightly superior thanks to Halfling luck. In BG3, a natural one is a dead end, so re-rolling a natural ones is actually essential. There's no description for this, so I guess it is once per long rest. you can become an unseen menace striking from the shadows, or an invisible support like in my previous build where I made the support hobbit. In the end, there isn't really a superior race over the others. I'm not stopping you from hating certain races or having favorites. Maybe you love drow, maybe you don't, like I don't, or maybe something that most people will agree of, the Dragonborns. Despite their majestic exterior, mechanically they are just absolute shite. But at the end of the day, race choice doesn't impact the majority of your build as much as you might think. Well, except the half-orcs for critical builds. Even when I made a build that very niche like the Draconic Sorcerer Assassin, a commenter pointed out you can cover that invisibility part with the Dark Urge exclusive cloak, so you don't necessarily have to go Duergar just for that level 5 free invisibility cantrip. So again, in BG3, races doesn't mean much, where Larian gives us so many tools to patch weaknesses through items we get along our journey. That's it for the video. Thank you for reaching this far. That's all I've got. I'll see you next time.